Hello.
Hi.
And welcome to Good Morning Thailand. Today we'll be talking about some of the news topics from across the country and a few stories from ASEAN as well. I'm Jay.
And I'm Alex.
And we're going to start with our first story today. Electric cars. China's BYD inaugurates first plant in Thailand as it expands reach into Southeast Asia. Electric cars for everybody. Chinese automaker BYD inaugurated its first electric vehicle plant in Thailand, marking its expansion into Southeast Asia. Located in Rayong, the factory was built in 16 months and can produce 150,000 vehicles annually, including the BYD Dolphin, Atto 3, Seal, and Celian 6 models. This move comes amid rising tariffs on Chinese EVs in the US and Europe. BYD aims to support Thailand's goal of having 30% of vehicles be electric by 2030. The new plant is expected to create 10,000 jobs and contribute to BYD's global growth, with factories also in Brazil, Hungary, and Uzbekistan. Who doesn't like a nice electric vehicle?
Yeah, Celians. I love that. Sea lions.
Yeah.
My God. That was funny.
The BYD Seal is a very sexy car.
Dude, I like them all. Like every time I get into one of them, like in a Grab driver or something like that, it's very nice on the inside.
A BYD Seal Grab?
Yeah. I've been into BYD Grabs before. I'm not sure which models that I've been in, but I've always liked them. And man, that stolen technology is really nice at that price point too.
Also, gone are the days where, you know, people always say, it's Chinese built. Like, these cars are pretty sexy, and they're very big in Thailand too. Yeah, it's in Asia in general.
It's the price point too. Yeah. It's just so much cheaper, and you know, that's what people care about at the end of the day, is like having these EVs at an affordable price. So
does it look like a Porsche? Yes. Is it a Porsche? Definitely not. Does it make you feel like you're in a Porsche? Definitely yes.
You know, it's pretty interesting too, seeing like new car companies actually be able to break into the market and really start eating up some market share too. You know, the established powers get a little complacent, and that leaves room for people like Tesla and now BYD, especially coming in and dominating. So yeah. Anyways, interesting. Creating jobs here in Thailand too.
Yeah.
Those will be robots soon, I'm sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, anyways, we got some good news for all you booze drinkers out there. Thailand is considering the alcohol ban lift to boost restaurant spirits. So that's right. Thailand is considering lifting the afternoon alcohol sales ban to support struggling restaurants amid an economic downturn. Restaurant operators facing high operating costs and ingredient prices urged Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin to remove the 52-year-old ban. The Restaurant Business Club also proposed reducing taxes and offering financial support to small businesses. The industry, which generated 420 billion baht in 2019, has seen slowed growth and increased closures since April. The government's response to these proposals could provide crucial relief for the sector.
Hooray for day drinking.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. If you're coming here on Thailand on a vacation, like why? What? Like, how are you going to take away, like, those prime day drinking hours from the people?
I know.
And there's already exceptions. Like in Patong, there are places where these rules are not really enforced in really high traffic touristy areas. But yeah, it's a lot of money on the table for these businesses. So I don't know. Good news to me.
They've been talking about this for years, that they're going to get this rule between, like, during the afternoons, I believe it's like 1 p.m. to 5 around that time, that they're not allowed to sell alcohol. A lot of restaurants still do, allegedly. However, yeah, they've been trying to abolish this rule for a very long time, but they talk about it, they try to bring it up into the, you know, to pass the bill, but it never really happens. So we'll have to wait and see if this actually goes through. Yeah,
what annoys me about it too is that this conversation is happening in conjunction with the same conversation of recriminalizing cannabis. So it seems like one of those power moves from the established industries to just make more money for them and keep out other players. But in any case, I don't know. I'm a libertarian. I'm fine with the afternoon alcohol sales.
All right. Well, we're going to move on to our next story, which is regarding a foreign teacher allegedly sexually assaults at least 5 Thai schoolgirls. Another day in Thailand, and unfortunately, another foreigner behaving badly. A Thai woman, Kun Kai, has accused a foreign teacher in Pitsanulok of sexually assaulting her 11-year-old niece and at least 5 other schoolgirls. Kai revealed the incidents after the school dismissed the issue. The assaults reportedly began when the girls were 8. Despite the victims reporting the abuse, the school initially claimed it was a misunderstanding. The teacher denied the allegations, calling the touching accidental. Kai urged the school to investigate investigate further and has brought the matter to public attention, seeking justice for the victims and warning others. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we do have to be careful. This story is still under investigation, and we have to find out if these allegations are true or not. But strong, big allegations.
Yeah, that's why we're not naming names yet. But the point is, this is pretty disgusting allegations, and it will lead to some criminal investigation, and we'll let you know what that actually produces. The point is, teachers are put into this position of trust, right? Like, you know, it's the parents are there all the time until they're in school, and then they're under the responsibility and the watch of teachers. So it's a major relationship of trust that is too often abused, particularly in Asia. So yeah, hopefully they can get to the bottom of this, and justice can be meted out, and hopefully these girls will be okay in dealing with this trauma. Well, that's not the only Farang being accused of bad behavior. Now, a Thai mascot has been assaulted by a foreigner and is seeking the public's help. Now, Kun Nantawat, a man with nearly 10 years of experience entertaining in a mascot costume, was assaulted by a foreigner while working in Bangkok's Prakanong district. The attacker initially asked to shake Nantawat's hand, but then squeezed it tightly and punched the face area of his costume, knocking him unconscious. Nantawat sustained minor injuries and is now seeking the public's help to identify the attacker and receive an apology. He shared his plea on Facebook, describing the incident and expressing his shock and disappointment. The incident has left him shaken and seeking justice. How you gonna do that? Beat up a mascot, man. I don't know. It's like what possesses you? Like chooses people. Some people just
want
wake
to be
up.
a tough guy.
Yeah, some people just wake up and choose violence. A tough guy to a man in a mascot suit that is like, you know, you can't.
Some people
wield
have
anything.
strange fears. I mean, depending on the mascot, sometimes you might just be
phobia?
asking for it.
Maybe.
Like, I'm a dishwasher, so. What was that mascot?
I'm not entirely sure.
I do not condone violence. We do not condone violence here at the Thaiger, but there are certain mascots that just get to people.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Especially if you're like a sports fan.
I guess there's some unsettling things, but yeah, do not choose violence and do not beat up the mascots, okay? I think we should be clear about that.
Yes, I agree.
And yeah, I don't know. Let's see if we could track down this foreigner guy, because he knocked him out, dude. It wasn't just like a boop. It was like a full-on, like, this guy lost consciousness from it. So,
But he must have done something? I don't know.
It seemed completely unprovoked.
I feel like it was like he probably reached into his deep fears. It's like when you go to the circus and then let's say a couple of those mascots like with that weird music in the background that's like tra la la la,
sure,
la la, and then they have that weird laugh where they're like,
yeah. I think you're giving this guy a little too much credit. I think he's just a jerk.
Yeah. No. Once again, I do not condone violence. I do not support that story.
Sure.
I'm just saying personally. Some mascots have
What would it take for you to beat up a mascot?
But I would not beat up a mascot or anyone for that matter. Okay. I'm just saying some mascots are,
Sure. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you on that, but I would just look away. I don't think like this guy was just on the streets. It wasn't like
horrible man
to be there and engage with him. So
no, if you're going to resort to violence, you deserve to go to jail. Like you can't just go around punching people.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't like the way he looked. I didn't like what he said. It's like no, you don't just attack people because you don't agree with their words.
I'm glad you came around on that, Jay.
I felt like I had to say that. You were painting like this picture of me.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I don't know. It's like it's a bummer of a job too. I think being in the heat, being in the mascot suit, that's already a tough gig in the first place. Not dealing with drunk farangs or whatever, just coming and assaulting you. Poor guy. Anyways, I hope he finds that justice that he's looking for.
Yeah, seek justice with Alex.
That's what we do here.
All right. We're going to move on to our next story. OnlyFans star arrested for explicit outdoor videos with minors. Now, another story of OnlyFans. Thai police have arrested Patipat, a transgender OnlyFans content creator, for allegedly luring minors into producing explicit videos. The arrest, executed by the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Division, came after an investigation into child pornography on social media. Patipat, 27, was found at his Cha Chung Sao residence. Police discovered his Twitter account with over 130,000 followers promoting explicit content from his OnlyFans profile. Patipat confessed to starting these accounts 6 months ago, earning about 100,000 baht monthly. To boost followers, he involved minors in the videos filmed in various public locations. Patipat faces charges of human trafficking, producing and distributing child pornography, importing obscene content for commercial purposes, and child abduction. Further legal proceedings are underway.
Gross. Yeah, pretty nasty stuff. This is an interesting
What's going
thing.
on?
I don't know. Like I told you, there was going to be a lot of bad stories today, but it's also something interesting that X, now known as XXX, thing has been really playing fast and loose with its content policy and allowing all sorts of adult content to make it onto the stream, and therefore that's encouraging these OnlyFans stars to use it as a platform to boost their own membership on OnlyFans. However, this is the kind of like the baity things that are like really trying to just draw in shock and a controversy, and that leads to clicks and engagement. So some of these incentives are set up in a weird way and in a disgusting way that ends up leading to situations like this. So I'm glad the Thai police were able to crack down on this, and we'll see what these allegations turn into through the court process. We'll see. Okay, but anyways, I do have a happier story for you guys to end on, okay? We have a daring rescue of a young child. So, a 3-year-old Thai girl was rescued from a very busy road. So, a 3-year-old girl was saved by a quick-thinking bystander after sprinting into a busy road in Nakhon Luang district, Pranakon Si Ayutthaya province. Her mother had left her asleep to buy noodles, unaware she would wake up and try to follow her. The bystander, Kun Pradit, grabbed the child just in time, sustaining minor injuries. The mother expressed heartfelt gratitude, acknowledging the potential tragedy that was averted.
Hey, well done to the gentleman who ran and dove to save the child. I felt like the dive was a bit too early. I mean, he could have just picked her up. But nevertheless, well done to him for staying vigilant to realize that the child is actually putting itself in danger and doing the right thing. A good Samaritan. Clap to you, good sir. Well done.
It also highlights, I think, again, like how parents of young children get, like, it just takes a moment of a lapse of attention for something like this to happen. So it's very important to be vigilant, especially if you are in, high traffic areas and busy like that, to make sure, like, she's sleeping one moment, she's not the next, and now she's up and moving around.
Kids, man.
They terrify me. The whole concept of that responsibility is pretty shocking, so I'm glad this was a happy ending, though. All right, well, anyways, that'll do it for our Thailand news. Now we're heading around ASEAN.
That's right. We're going to do a couple of stories from around ASEAN, taking us first to Malaysia. A gas leak at Malaysia's Kuala Lumpur airport affected 20 staff. Now, a gas leak at the Southern Support Zone Sepang aircraft engineering facility at Kuala Lumpur International Airport affected around 20 staff members on Thursday. The Selangor State Fire Department identified the leaked chemical as methyl mercaptan, a flammable gas with a putrid smell used in jet fuel production. The affected personnel reported dizziness and were sent for medical treatment. Despite the incident, there were no disruptions to airport operations and no wider risk to public safety.
Gas leaks.
Gas leaks.
Sorry, who had the Taco Bell in there?
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know. Jet fuel is a weird thing. There's like a lot of different chemical processes that have to go into it to like make it like, as potent as it needs to be.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, this is not that big of a story because everyone's okay, but it could have very easily been like, all right, too much of an enclosed space. They could all be easily, much more serious condition, potentially even losing their lives. So it's very important that these safety regulations are followed. Interesting that it didn't actually cause a disruption to any flights, so I guess there was no delays in the end. But if you smell something, say something.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, now, anyways, our last story today is a bit of an update on a story we did last week that involved a ransomware attack on the Indonesian government. So this ransomware chaos may be over after the hack group apologized and says it has shared its decrypt keys. So the ransomware group BrainCipher announced they will reveal decryption keys following an attack on Indonesia's temporary national data center. The group posted the key and instructions online, claiming the attack was just a penetration test and apologizing to Indonesian citizens. They await confirmation from the government that the keys work, and the attack affected over 230 public agencies' data with no available backups. The government refused to pay the 131 billion rupiah, or about $8 million ransom, and Indonesia has yet to confirm the key's effectiveness.
Ransom.
That was a weird story, man. They did the ransom.
Yeah.
The Indonesian government refused to pay them, and then they're like, "Oh, oops, our bad." They just like gave up and like, "All right, here, have the keys. We were just testing you guys." Like, what a jerk move, BrainCipher.
I feel like it was some young kid who did it, and like the mom walked in and said, "You give them back right now."
Yeah, stop disrupting the Indonesian government.
Yeah, don't do it.
Weird one. Yeah, it also shows, man, like how like the vulnerabilities in these systems.
Yeah.
People can exploit them, and then all of a sudden, your entire government network, how many 230 agencies, and no backups. That was the other. Oh, this is very lucky because they didn't have any of that data backed up at all. So hopefully, the Indonesian government has learned their lesson on this one as well.
All right.
All right.
Well, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Those were some of the stories from across Thailand and a few stories around ASEAN now. There are, of course, more stories on the Thaiger.com, and you too can have your say in a lot of these stories that can be found on ASEANnow.com. Join the forum and join the conversation. For now, we're going to take a quick dive into the live comments to see what's up.
Yeah.